remember that, like the moment where you decided to go and say, we're going to create a Dubai Watch Week?
I remember it was a long time ago, 9 years, 10 years ago. Hind came up and she said, we should do an event.
I like an event. I'm going to think a party.
Yeah.
You think a fair.
We thought, yes, why not? You know, we never had in the region any event that was good enough. There's the Bahrain Jewelry Show, there is the Qatar Show, but they're all events that are based on sales.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to be out of the box. We said, you know, let's think of here, let's think of there. I think in one of the first sessions, or the first Dubai Watch Week, we had a session with Mr. Beaver, when it was the same time when Apple launched the Apple Watch, and it was a big...
2015, 14, 15.
2015 it was, yeah.
Everyone thought it was over.
Yeah. So...
Since Apple is now the first watchmaker, unit-wise.
Exactly. So it was a challenge for us to find something where it would be interesting for the people to attend.
Right.
Okay.
So that was when Hind came up with the idea of starting the forums and having the speakers coming. It was really small. We're doing it in the art galleries. So we were renting the art galleries and doing the events in the art galleries, and another art gallery was having the watches. So it was really a tiny exhibition. Second year was the same, third year, and then we decided we have to expand. And now we're having a talk with Hind, and we're saying, where next? Because we're running out of space here, you know?
We know that this has been a very hard work. In the last 10 or 12 years, you've managed to get this fair growing and expanding, and to the point where now it has become one of the key events on the watch calendar. And when you think about it, it's not even a trade show, it's non-commercial. It's just about, at the beginning, it was just to educate the region. And now it's grown into educating the world.
Yes. Right. I mean, we're not educating only, we're transmitting knowledge. We are learning as well from what's happening. We're learning, we're listening to our clients, we're listening to all the visitors, we're listening to all the brands. That's why every edition people say, how come it's bigger? How come it's better? It's because we're really listening, and we're really trying to create something that's useful for everyone. We never expected it to become this big, because the first edition, you know, it was very challenging to convince a lot of brands to participate. It was challenging to convince a lot of press to join us. But then, because of the support we had from, you know, the brands who trust us, the independents, were the first people who accepted to even speak in a horology forum, right. Something that never happened before. And because of that support, today we're able to have, you know, even more deeper conversations inside the horology forum. And we hope that, you know, we stay on track, we remain relevant for more and more in years to come. I remember in 2014, my father said, prepare yourselves, we're going to welcome GPHG to Dubai, because they've never been to the region with the touring watches. And we were like, yeah, sure, okay, you know, it's exciting, let our collectors know what's happening. And then he said, okay, this was a success, let's do something again in 2015, prepare yourselves again for GPHG. And that's when I was like, but it wasn't enough. People were still asking, you know, what is this? What is these awards? Like, why are these watches? So we felt it's not enough. And then we also heard, you know, about, when talking to brands, you know, some challenges about having less watchmakers, about watchmakers passing away and taking the knowledge with them. And then we thought, you know, retailers losing, you know, ties, or brands opening up their own boutiques, and then retailers, you know, being left hanging without anything after years of working with the brands. So we thought, okay, we need to talk about these things. And the brands need to listen to us. And that's when we said, let's create something different. Right. Let's not only show GPHG, but also show independent watchmakers. And the theme was Rebels of Time. For the exhibition, and for Horology Forum, the theme was transmission of knowledge, and that's how it all started. Remember, my father approved the whole concept, and in the morning, like the first morning, he came, and it was upstairs here where the Gate Village is, and he was pale. And then he was like, "What are we doing? Like, what if no one comes?"
Oh wow!
Yeah, what if no one comes? What And I was like, what? I thought you believed. He's like, yeah, but what if no one shows up, you know? And then by lunchtime, he was like, okay, I know what we're doing. And he started calling all the brands and saying, you should come and see what's happening here. And that's how it all started.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Let's jump back in time to 2021. I have the great pleasure of being on the same table as your father during the GPHG jury deliberation.
So special.
And then we get to the almost the end of the voting process, and now we discuss, okay, well, there's something called the Special Jury Prize. You don't have to award it, but can anyone come up with an idea as to organization or an individual that really deserves it because they've done something huge for the watch industry, a real contribution? And almost unanimously, everyone was like, how about Dubai Watch Week?
Yeah.
You know? And it was incredible to see that recognition. How important was that for you? And how surprised were you when you got a phone call from your dad that were like, come to Geneva now?
It was amazing because we were still having Corona restrictions,
Yeah.
okay, and we were still planning for Dubai Watch Week, and we were still receiving, you know, like news from some of our friends that we can't fly in, we're not allowed because of quarantine if I come, and so it was a bit of a stressful year working on Dubai Watch Week and preparing Dubai Watch Week. But then when this happened, and my dad said, come on now, come on a flight and write a speech. And I was like, what speech? He's like, you can't say anything, but you guys are winning. I was like, what? And my team, you know, I just wanted to call them and say, guys, we're winning, but I couldn't, you know, because I had to keep quiet. And then being there on stage and then listening to everyone clapping, you know, like it was really, really, really heartwarming. And it was so in the right time. We're honored till today. We can't forget that day.
I want to ask a cheeky question, but I think that it's also one that's a demonstration of how amazing this family is and how perfectionist they are. The rain. so like, Dubai Watch Week starts.
I think a new challenge.
It's like the most perfect day possible. Everyone's walking around, they're just staring at, like, you know, the expansion, Van Cleef, everything. They're like, wow. Then we go to sleep.
Yeah.
And we wake up the next morning and we don't realize it, but like Dubai's flooded. Like, how did you guys in record time basically get it cleaned up, and then we're back in business by the afternoon?
To be honest, this is the magic of Dubai. Only in Dubai you can build a booth, you know, in a day. You can build a tower in a few months, and so this is the magic of Dubai, and the support that we had from everyone. It was so overwhelming. I was receiving messages from brands saying, you know, stay strong, nothing's gonna stop this. We're with you. Let us know what we can do. I then had CEOs of brands coming and saying, you know, we heard 2 booths are closed. If they want to come and join our booth, bring their towers. You know, that community spirit came up. We had to take fast decisions. The team came together. Everyone was like, you know, very positive that they can get things done. The production team we have are amazing. So they just called their contractors and everyone was on site within hours. And it was done by 2 p.m. We were open.
Incredible. And
then by 4 p.m. another phase of opening happened, and then by 6 p.m. almost everyone was
Nothing
ready.
had happened.
Like nothing has happened. Like everyone's like, we can't believe it was a few hours ago.
actually, I couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
It was, but anyway, it was for the best. You know, everyone said, oh, now we have time to file our stories. It was good. The speakers were very understanding. The masterclass conductors were also very understanding. So it really showed that we are family and we are a community. And the fact that, you know, brands came and said, you know, how can we help the booths that can't open, really shows that this industry is becoming, you know, like a family.
Well, you know, as a great example of that, we were meant to do a symposium on next generation leadership.
Yes.
Unfortunately, 2 of those guys had to leave.
Yes.
But then we came up with this idea that why don't we be the first ones to ever do a multi-generational symposium where you have the world's, you know, most famous independent watchmaker, Philippe Dufour, with his daughter Daniela Dufour on the same stage. And when I remember when we spoke to Philippe Dufour about it, he said, for Dubai Watch Week, of course I'll do it. I think this is a really good demonstration that Dubai Watch Week, even though it has the name Dubai in it, is international, right? And it's a cultural builder for the world. Tell us a little bit about where else you could expand to, and could you do it more frequently?
Yes. So now that we're you know, we've evolved from just being an exhibition into being a platform. We definitely want to have more pocket events. We will continue with the traveling edition of Horology Forum, but we're also considering doing other things around it.
Very cool.
And even in the region, we don't want to just let people wait for 2025. So we're working on more pocket events, things that we can do, exhibitions that we can curate collectively with other brands, and that's what we're working on. So we'll definitely be more active in 2024.
I think that this fair is unique in that it's the only one where you have people representing brands going to the parties of other brands.
Yeah.
You have them hanging out afterwards and complimenting each other, not discussing about business as Eleonor had mentioned earlier, but really sharing the passion. I would even go so far as to say that this fair basically saved the end of this watch year, because I think the end of this watch year was a really emotional roller coaster ride for us with the things that were going on. I won't go into too much details about it, but if this year had just ended on that note, I think a lot of us would have been like confused, and to end the year on such a wonderful moment where everyone was so optimistic, where we had so much passion and we had such a great time. I would say that Hind, you and Dubai Watch basically saved 2023 for us.